The smell of cinnamon and roasted pine filled the dining room the way it always did in December, warm and deceptive, like a lie wrapped in something beautiful. Elena sat at the far end of the table, her hands folded in her lap, her stomach pressing gently against the waistband of the green dress her mother had asked her to wear. She was 19 years old, 8 weeks pregnant, and she had told them 3 days ago. Tonight, apparently, was when they had decided what to do about it. Her father had carved the turkey with the same slow, deliberate strokes he used for everything. Minus the lawn, a conversation, a person's dignity. Her mother arranged the cranberry sauce as if the placement of a dish could hold the evening together. Her younger brother Tyler, 14 and oblivious, was already sneaking rolls from the basket. The chandelier threw amber light across the good china. Everything looked exactly like Christmas was supposed to look. Her father set down the carving knife. "We've talked," he said, not looking at her, "your mother and I, and we've made a decision." Elena felt the cold move through her before a single word landed. He told her the arrangement clearly, the way a man explains a business decision minus an adoption agency, a family already identified, a fresh start for everyone. She would finish school. She would have her future back. It would be as if none of this had happened. All she had to do was sign the papers, return to normal, and never speak of it again. He made it. And sound reasonable? He made it sound kind, and if I don't? She asked. Her voice came out steadier than she felt. Her mother finally looked up from the cranberry sauce. Her eyes were dry. That was the part Elena would never forget, minus not anger, not grief, just a kind of careful blankness, as though she had already rehearsed this moment and moved past it. "Then you don't come back," her mother said. "We love you, but we won't watch you throw your life away." Tyler stopped chewing. The chandelier kept burning. The turkey steamed on its platter, and Elena sat with her hands still folded in her lap, understanding for the first time that love in this house had always had conditions minus, and tonight she had finally found the edge of them. She pushed back her chair and stood up. Here is chapter 2 expanded to approximately 400 words. The shelter was called Haven House, and it smelled like industrial bleach and other people's sorrow. Elena arrived on December 26th with a duffel bag, $43, and the particular kind of numbness that only comes after you have cried so hard your body simply stops, like a machine that has run out of fuel. She was given a cot in a room with 5 other women, a locker with a broken latch, and a pamphlet about social services that she read 3 times before falling asleep. She did not let herself look back. Looking back was a luxury she could not afford. Caleb was born in August, 7 pounds 4 ounces, with a furious red face and her own dark eyes. She, Kev, Tao, held him in that hospital room alone, minus no mother at the foot of the bed, no father pacing the hallway, minus just a kind nurse named Dottie, who held her hand through the final hour and told her she was doing beautifully. Elena decided in that moment that beautiful was exactly what she intended to keep doing for him, even when nothing around her felt that way. The years that followed were not romantic in their struggle. There was nothing poetic about choosing between the electricity bill and winter boots. Nothing cinematic about studying contract law at a kitchen table at midnight while a toddler slept in the next room, a baby monitor balanced between a textbook and a cold cup of coffee. She worked the early shift at a diner, then later at a legal filing office, where a paralegal named Rosa saw something in her and quietly passed her law school brochures with sticky notes that said you should and nothing else. She applied. She got in. She nearly quit 4 times in the first year alone. But Caleb would look at her with those dark eyes, minus her eyes, and ask her to read to him. And she would read, and something in that small ritual rebuilt her every single time. She never contacted her parents, not on Caleb's first birthday. Not when she passed the bar exam and stood in a fluorescent courthouse hallway and shook so hard she had to press her back against the wall. Not once. They had made their choice at that table. Now she was making hers -1 quiet, furious, determined day at a time. The magazine arrived on a Tuesday, the way most quiet earthquakes do unremarkably, between a utility bill and a grocery circular. It was Legal Advocate Quarterly, and on the cover, beneath the words, "The Mothers Who Fight Back," was Elena Marsh, 40 years old, photographed in her office with her jacket off and her sleeves rolled to the elbows, looking directly into the camera like someone who had long ago stopped apologizing for taking up space. The article ran 11 pages. It detailed her decade-long career fighting, parental abandonment cases, wrongful family separation suits, and custody disputes, where institutions had failed the most vulnerable. It quoted 3 judges who had ruled against her and still called her the sharpest mind they had encountered in their courtrooms. It quoted 6 clients minus mothers, mostly some fathers minus who said versions of the same thing in different words. She understood what it cost because she had paid it herself. She had built Marsh Legal Aid from a 2-desk office above a dry cleaner in 2014 into a 17-attorney firm with a waiting list and a foundation that funded emergency housing for single mothers in 4 states. She had testified before a Senate subcommittee on family welfare reform. She had won a case the previous spring that changed adoption consent law in 3 jurisdictions. Her name was the kind that other lawyers said carefully, with a particular mixture of respect and something close to reverence. None of this happened. To her parents all at once, it crept toward them the way water finds a crack slowly, then all at once. Her father saw her name first in a local newspaper, a small mention, years earlier. He said nothing. Her mother recognized her photograph on a courthouse news segment and turned off the television. They told themselves it was fine, that she had managed, that this meant everything had worked out, which was a story that conveniently required them to feel nothing further. But the magazine cover was harder to dismiss. A neighbor mentioned it, then a woman from their church, then her father's cardiologist, of all people, who had a daughter in law school and kept a copy in his waiting room. They began quietly and too late to understand the shape of what they had discarded. They wrote a letter, and Elena received it, read it once, and placed it in a drawer she did not open again.